There's another Chishti, Ghulam Chishti, who was here in London, who used to mock at my Mubahila challenge and make people laugh and what's this sort of stupid Mubahila, you know. So I can't say accepted in so many words, but he, of course, sort of dared God. This Mubahila, we don't care for this. Meaningless. And went on opposing Jamaat Ahmediyya on every front. So before this he had lived here a long life. He was a most highly respected mullah. He was not only a Maulvi but also a peer in himself. People thought he is a man of great spiritual powers and he can grant children to people and do this and that. His name was Rasool Chishti. His title was Pir-e-Tariqat, Allama Abul Fatah Chishti. Right. 46 years old he was when this Mubahila ultimately got over him. He was arrested for the charges of violating the chastity of an underage girl and forcing it. Rape, was a charge. And during that course, other claimants came and it started piling up this complaint against him that he had raped that woman and that woman. Those who went to him for seeking Allah's blessing, he raped them and told them they would be, meet a, sort of wrath of Allah or this and that if they spoke a single word, or this will happen to them. This was his custom. Charges were pressed against him in the court. When the judge inquired from him, who were they? You are a mullah. Who were these people? He said, they were my married wives. How come it? That way you have no marriage record. I am the one, the authority on marriages myself. I declare that to be marriage and then that was enough. It's a disgrace to read his defense of himself because it's a disgrace to Islam. And the judges and the lawyers and all the public were laughing at Islam and the sort of mullahs they have. Then at last this was declared, the judgment was declared. And the judge wrote a very, very stiff judgment. He said, such people must be treated as harshly as possible. He has abused everything. So he said, I commit him to 11 years rigorous imprisonment and also I issue this judgment. This is a part of the judgment. At the moment he turns out of jail, he must be sent back to Pakistan because such as he are not fit to live in England. As if that was not enough. Later on, to draw attention to his pitiable state and to confess what was happening to him, he himself published made a public statement and written on posters. They were labeled everywhere. This in fact was another way of attracting public attention out of pity so that somebody would send him some money. See, he opened an account in some bank and said, whoever has pity, that is the account number. This man, after all this,
when was this?
This was a brazen-faced mullah.
This
was
imprisonment.
Imprisonment in 19 February 90. After all this, it was going on for some months. Finally, the judgment was delivered on the 19th of February 90. He was under custody and all this was going on for quite some months, but immediately after the Mubahila, the next year, it all started. Then comes the confession. He said, I have been shoved into the hell of the jail for 11 years. My old parents, what they say, tadap kar reh gaye, you know. What is the expression in English for that? You know, they just tossed in agony, could do nothing about it. Kept tossing in agony. This is called tadap kar reh gaye. And my children from other wives have nobody to take care of them. My elder son died suddenly, leaving behind a widow and 4 children, because there was no money available for his operation. Things which I have seen, may Allah it never happen to the worst enemies of anybody. This is the end I have come to. And this is the picture of the Maulana, flashed in the newspapers. The English press, the media, television, they all played it up because they thought all these blemishes will be attributed to Islam and the Islamic mullahs. So this is why I said I don't like speaking on these things. The Mail on Sunday, February 25, 1990, a rape case priest, that is the title given to him. The rape case priest.
He is a priest.
Huh? Yes. So all this rubbish we leave. I wouldn't have opened my mouth on this, but unfortunately, this is one of my duties to remind people that this Mubahila was from Allah, and He took charge of it. And I have so many other cases in short brief, but I think that's enough for the time being. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.